Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, welcome to my channel. I am Jamie Beth. Today we're going to talk about my recommendations for primers, concealers, and foundations. The first primer we are going to talk about is this one right here. This is something I just started trying, and it is the Shine Killer by NYX. And this stuff is really cool. It's a charcoal infused primer, and I'll show you. It's black. So it comes out black, and you rub it in and it disappears, so it doesn't look black on your skin or give your skin a gray tint or anything like that. It's actually really nice, and it does control the oil. I have noticed that my skin by the end of the day is not as oily as other products I've used in the past that do absolutely nothing, and my nose looks like a shiny wet mess by the end of the day. This stuff really does do what it says, and I really like that about this product. The next one we're going to talk about is this one. This is the Tarte. This is their Timeless Smoothing Primer. One thing I really like about this primer is that it makes your skin look super smooth, almost like there's a filter on it without there being a filter on it. It really is cool, and I use this mostly on the more dry areas and my eyelids. On to another one that I use more in the drier areas of my skin. This is the Winky Luxe Whipped Cream Primer, and it does look just like a whipped product. It's really cool. But it goes on nice and smooth, and it has that same like smoothing, almost filtered finish to your skin. I love it. On to the next one. This is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filtr Mattifying Primer, and as you can see, it's pretty much almost gone. I use this all the time, and actually what I've been doing is combining these two, and I'm telling you guys, there's barely any oil by the end of the day in my T-zone area with these two products. It's actually really awesome. The next one I'm going to talk about is this one. This is the Too Faced Hangover Replenishing Face Primer. I do really like this primer. I just think, again, I put it on, my makeup stays, and it almost looks like there's like this filter effect. It's really nice. This is a great little primer, and totally worth every penny. Now, this one that I'm about to show you is my most expensive primer. I'm going to show you the smaller version of it because the bigger version I just recently ran out of. And now I'm going to my mini version. So this is the Hourglass Veil Primer. I really only need like 1 or 2 pumps, and I can cover my whole face with it. There are affordable sizes to this product, but I really think this is gold. If you buy any product that I recommend, buy the Hourglass Veil Primer. Moving along to concealers. Now, concealer is something that I not only use to brighten certain areas, but I do use it for contouring as well, and I'm really into the liquid contour right now. But the first concealer I want to show you guys is this one. Now, I use this for brightening and for contour, so I have a light one and a dark one. But this is the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer. I think this stuff is awesome, and it's not too thick, it's not too thin. It blends out beautifully. It doesn't cake, it doesn't bunch up or streak or do anything weird that some other concealers I've used in the past do. Now, I do think that the CoverGirl one is just as good as the Tarte Shape Tape. I really think these are dupe type of products, so if you don't want to spend the money for a big one of the Tarte Shape Tapes, I recommend the CoverGirl True Blend. Tarte Shape Tape has been around for a long time. Everyone knows what it is. Everyone loves it. It really is a good concealer, but I do think CoverGirl might be a little bit better. Moving along to a higher end drugstore brand, I think, is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh. And I do love the ColourPop's concealers. I'm not too into their foundations, but I do think their concealers are really nice. A little bit on the lighter side. So I think CoverGirl's concealer is a little bit thicker than the ColourPop concealer, but both blend out beautifully, and I really recommend either one. Like, these are great concealers. Another one that is really good is the Too Faced Born This Way concealers. Now this is the Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer. So again, I use to brighten and I use to contour. This formula is also a little thicker, and you do need to work at it to get it to blend out, but I just think it looks flawless and it's really pretty on the skin, and I have absolutely no complaints. Now moving on to foundations. These foundations you've heard many times, and the reason you've heard them many times is because they're fantastic and you should go out and buy them. I mean, there's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Okay, first off, I'm going to talk about some drugstore brands, and the first one is, and I'm sure you guys can guess it because I talk about it all the time, it's this one. This is the, or actually I probably should show you the front of it. It is the CoverGirl True Blend Matte Made Foundation, and I use the number M20, which I can never find anywhere, and it makes me upset. Why are you not stocking this in all of your drugstores? What is wrong with you, CoverGirl? M20, I need it. M20, this is the only one that actually really looks good on my skin. And M20 is actually, what shade's it called? Warm beige. Like, warm beige. Who doesn't have warm beige? Get it in stock, please. I need to have this foundation. This is fantastic foundation. If there ever was a really good one, this is it. I absolutely adore this foundation. It lasts. It doesn't come off. It doesn't look like crap by the end of the day. It just looks good. Just like when you put it on first thing in the morning, that's how it looks when you come home after the workday. And like I said before, that is what I look for. So this stuff is amazing. Next one is this. And again, you've heard it many times. This is the Neutrogena Healthy Skin Foundation, and I normally wear warm beige. Why can they have warm beige in stock and not you, CoverGirl? Jesus. Warm beige, that is what I wear. And this stuff, it's like a medium coverage foundation, which is buildable to full coverage if you want full coverage. But I kind of like medium coverage because it's right there smack dab in the middle. It doesn't feel like you have a ton of makeup on your face. It's very light, but very good coverage, and I really like that about this foundation. Next one I'm going to talk about is another one I've mentioned many times because, again, it's awesome, is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. I believe this foundation is only like $5 something. It's so cheap and it is awesome. Wet n Wild gets a lot of flack for being a cheap brand. What people don't understand about Wet n Wild is it is a cheap brand, but with a high-end quality. Like I always say this, it is the beauty industry's dirty little secret. I'm telling you guys. So now we're getting into the higher end type of foundations. And when I say higher end, I just mean more expensive. The first one I'm going to talk about is this one here. This is the Stay Naked Weightless Liquid Foundation, and I don't think there's names on this. I think it's just numbers. I use 40NN, so it's a neutral foundation, and I really like this. I really think it stays on really long. It does not transfer, and it still looks nice after a whole entire work day. So I think it was hot for a little while, and then it kind of just lingered away, but I totally recommend it. I think it works great. The next foundation that I'm going to talk to you about is this one. This is the Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation, and I use the shade Natural Beige. I really think this is good foundation. Plus it smells like peaches, which I love. And this was hot for a minute too, and then it kind of dwindled away. So I don't know why. It's amazing foundation, and I do know it's still around because I just bought this one a few months ago, And it just is great. It's an oil-free 14-hour wear, oil controlling foundation, and I do think it does all of those things. It doesn't last 14 hours though. It will last a good 8 though. It really will. The next foundation that I want to talk to you about is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filtr foundation. There's a hydrating one, which is this one right here, and then there's a mattifying one, which I've tried, and it totally sucked on my skin. I didn't like it whatsoever. But the hydrating one, which I'm kind of very surprised, is beautiful. I love the way it looks. As you can see, I'm practically out of this foundation. I use the shade, it's a number shade 260, so that is the shade that I use. It does keep my skin looking nice and fresh without looking wet, because when you hear about hydrating foundations, you think they're going to be wet, and it's not. It's not a wet look whatsoever. It's just not a super mattifying look either. It's kind of somewhere in between. But I mean, it's amazing. I really do highly recommend it. It's awesome. The last foundation I'm going to talk to you about is this one, and I just started trying this foundation. It is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. It does what the name states. It is a luminous foundation, so your skin kind of looks bright and glowy, but without looking wet or overly luminous. I've used products where it's just like, holy cow, it kind of totally transforms your face, and your face kind of looks shiny and wet. This does not do that. It actually looks really nice on the skin. It is somewhere in between that hydrating look and that matte look, which I love. So that is this Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. It's expensive, but I do think it's worth every penny. Those are the primers, concealers, and foundations that I recommend you try, and I hope you do. And if you do, let me know in the comments down below which product you tried and what you think of it. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Not gonna hurt my feelings if you didn't like it, because products might not work for you that work for me. So I mean, that's just the way it goes. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and remember to hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already, as well as the notification bell next to it to be notified of all of my upcoming videos. Thank you so much, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.